This was a pretty emotional eviction. No? Was it just me? Okay. Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Movie Bae, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review over Big Brother season 27 episodes 10 and 11, a part of week 3, an emotional eviction. But before we get too into it, I would like for you all to consider subscribing to the channel if you are new. Here on Movie Bae, I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television, and if that's the type of content you like, then you are in the right place. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notification bell so you can be alerted every time I upload, and of course engage with the content. Hit that thumbs up button and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Now, I feel like we're going to be here for a good time and not a long time, because for some reason it's like when I'm watching the show, a lot is happening, but then when I sit back and think about what I'm gonna say in my review, it don't be much to talk about. It's like a lot is happening, but not a lot is happening all at the same time. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the week 3 review. So as y'all know, Lauren is the third HOH of the season, our first woman HOH. And for a person who walks around in the HOH robe at her house, made her mom give her one for her birthday, she is not moving like a HOH. She is not living and stepping in her HOH era, okay? Because Lauren is afraid, like everybody else, of getting blood on her hands. She's afraid of making a big move. She wants to be low key. And all I could think about is, why would you want to win HOH if you were not ready to shake the table a little bit? All right. So she decides to nominate all the house targets in the quote unquote house pawn. She nominates Keanu, Kelly, and Will. All people who have seen the block before. Boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. Boring numbs. Keanu being a house target, at this point, it's getting old. I feel like he's not going anywhere, okay? Kelly being on the block, y'all ain't doing nothing but fueling Kelly's fire. Y'all ain't doing nothing but honestly, building Kelly's resume. Like, Kelly is the female Tucker, or is on her way to being the female Tucker of this season. Why would you continue to give her opportunity to practice these comps? Like, if you really think about it, Will, Keanu, and Kelly and Adrian have competed in more comps than anybody else in the house. So I feel like y'all are just making them better and better as the days go by, if you ask me, okay? So those are Lauren's week 6 nominations, all right? Even though she's in an alliance with Will, she puts him up because everybody loves him. You're going to be safe. I promise you're not going to go home. One thing I liked about Will is Will wasn't trying to hear none of that. He wasn't faking it. He wasn't trying to give hugs. He was pissed. And when I tell you visibly pissed, Will was pissed. Legs shaking, jaw clenching. He was complaining outside about how much he wants to go home and he's sick of these young people. All right, keep that in mind. All right, but I do appreciate the authenticity from Will. You know what I'm saying? So now it's the veto ceremony. They have like this laser challenge. And surprisingly, big Keanu was able to complete the challenge in the least amount of time, and he is the one who wins the veto, of course, removing himself from the block. So that means Lauren's worst nightmare has just come true, and her target for the week, has won the veto and is no longer on the block. Now, I feel like all the HOHs this particular season have had a house target, Keanu at this point, and that target did not go home. So how about we stop trying to get this target out the house, at least for a little bit? Because who's really going to vote at this point? Who's going to vote for Rachel and Keanu at the end of the game? All right. Anyhow, so now Lauren has to do a renum, and she decides to renum Adrian. Yes, another person who has already been on the block. Wanna why? Because she's playing it safe. Not only that, Adrian is in one of your quote-unquote alliances. Your number one Vince, your quote-unquote number one Vince, even told you to put up Ashley because that's what you wanted to do. So why would you not do what you want to do? It's so funny how a lot of the people in the house, a lot of the house guests were trying to big up Lauren and say, don't let nobody run your HOH, but at the same time giving their 2 cents in about what she should do with her HOH. And after all of that, she still decides to play it safe. So our final nominees for this week are Kelly, Adrian, and Will. All right. So let's go ahead and go to the BB Blockbuster. BB Blockbuster. Will, 16. They had to like identify like the differences of images. And when I saw Kelly had 6, Adrian had 7, and I saw Will had 16, I said Will didn't win. Because no way. I was like, it has to be a low number. 2 out of 3 people said a low number. At this point, keep Will in the game. Yeah, everybody love him, but he ain't winning. Okay. So Kelly is the one who does indeed win the BB Blockbuster. And I'm kind of shocked because earlier in the week, Kelly was like in a whole hoopla uproar about how she would basically throw her game away for Adrian to stay in the house. So why didn't you throw this competition so Adrian can win? A lot of y'all talk about what y'all would do and ain't doing shit. Okay, so Kelly does win the BB Blockbuster, leaving Adrian and Will on the block. And when I tell you, this might have been the most saddest, somber eviction that I've seen, because the whole mood, like nobody in the house was laughing, talking, joking. I don't even think it was like background music. It was just sad. It was crying. It was making me sad. Like Adrian crying. I'm like, oh, it's so sad because he's a BB fan. He's built comps in his backyard. He really wants to play this game. And compared to Will, he's a bigger threat. So he's probably going to go home. And then you have Will, a person who is now up for eviction again, but I'm so loved, but I'm still on the block. You never know what the house is going to say. You never know, because they might be like, you know what? Will is loved. That could be a potential threat at the end. Let me get Will up out of here. Okay, Will has also been complaining about being in the house, not meshing well with the Gen Zers. Let's get Will about this. He wants to go home, put him out of his misery. That's what I'm thinking. So you got these 2 on the block. I'm honestly thinking Will is about to, sacrifice himself for Adrian. It don't get that good, does it? So with the vote up, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was like 8-4, something like that. Adrian is the one that is evicted from the Big Brother house. Now, I was low-key nervous because by listening to people who review the feeds, they made it seem like if it was Kelly and Will, Kelly was going home. But if it was Adrian and Will, it was probably going to be a split vote. All right. So I was really nervous. I mean, I'm rooting for everybody, so I didn't want Will to go. And then it was just Adrian and how emotional he was that made me not want him to go. But if y'all watch my episode 1, y'all know I really wasn't feeling Adrian, because to me, he was just like too big brothered out, but he didn't give that in the days that passed. So I was kind of a little bit warming up to him. All right. But anyways, like I said, with a vote to 8-4, Adrian is the one evicted. And when he does his goodbye interview with Julie, he kind of said some contradicting things. He did say, I love everybody in the house, but they're playing scary. We can agree. And then he said that Lauren was afraid to make a big move. But if you think about it, Adrian, you kind of were a big move. Like compared to Will, you're definitely the big move. So the vote was right in getting you out. You know what I'm saying? Compared to like threat wise, I feel like Kelly could be a comp threat. Adrian could be a comp and strategic threat. So those 2 nominees, I guess, made sense. But Keanu, I mean, at this point, he not really winning too many comps. He's like decent. Will ain't winning nothing, but he has the social thing working out for him. I suppose, child. I suppose. But Adrian, like I said, he was doing some contradicting things. He said that she was afraid to make a big move. And I agree, because these are people who've already been on the block. Like, you got other people in the house, like Will stated. You got Jimmy. Okay, you got Vince. You got Zach. Like, you got Rachel. Like, you have these quote-unquote big people in the house that you could be focusing on, but instead you want to focus on a 50-something-year-old guy with a bad back. You know what I'm saying? But out of Will and Adrian, the bigger threat did go home. So, it's just sad because he is a Big Brother fan. I know he definitely wanted to play the game longer. Some of y'all probably wanted to see him longer, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. All right, so it is now week 4, you guys. I do know who the HOH was. Past tense was, because somebody activated their power. So week 4 might be an interesting week. A lot of things are getting shaken up, and we'll see if some big moves are finally going to be made. Okay. The one thing about these BB blockbusters, though, you can't backdoor people. You can't backdoor people because they still don't have a chance to get up off that block. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is something they're gonna have to keep in mind. I kind of miss backdooring people. All right. But with that being said, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, turn the post notification bell so you can be alerted every time I upload. Engage with the video. I know I'm late, but let's go ahead and push this video out to the YouTube algorithm. From here on out, I might have to start doing weekly Big Brother reviews because my workload is about to pick back up. So if week 4 is not a composite review, week 5 most definitely 9 times out of 10 will be. So just make sure y'all subscribe and hit that post notification bell. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning into my YouTube channel, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.